Yay for week one. You guys know I have to be like enthusiastic to make these videos. If you hear a lot of screaming, it's just my kids. Don't worry, they're all right. Um, so we're talking about discipline and we're talking about kind of getting our lives together. And so one major area that I struggle with is my emotions. Women, you know this more than men, that our emotions can be very difficult to control. And men have problems too, don't get me wrong, but ladies, we have a lot of hormones working against us sometimes, and it's easier sometimes to just kind of let them take us where they want to go than to work on disciplining ourselves. Um, I have more trouble like with sadness or depression than I do with anger or excitement. And everybody has their vice. Some people are really angry people, and some people are just always depressed, and some people can never come down. That would probably be fun but exhausting to always be excited. So I think really the point of this little session would be to learn how to kind of discipline ourselves in the area of anger. Um, we want to have healthy emotions because healthy emotions kind of give us better peace of mind, more stability in our life, better relationships. There's a lot of good things that stem from having healthy emotions. Something that I find interesting, and I don't have it with me, but when I study, I think it's Webster's, is it Webster's? 1828. I'm going to get the real one for you guys. But the dictionary, I use the dictionary that was a version of in 1828. And the reason I do that is because the words are more pure to their true meaning and they haven't been altered by popular culture or, other accepted phrases and things, we use words differently and they have different meanings as time goes on. So I also like about it, they use scriptures in the dictionary, which I think is amazing because it gives me more that I can study. So when I looked up emotions, this is pretty cool. A violent passion of the mind excited by a real or supposed injury. So either something really happened or you're assuming something happened. Case in point, one time I was at work. I worked at a retail place, and this guy that worked with me, he walked by and he kind of was like giving me this look, and I'm like, why? What? And he was too far away for me to talk to, but the fact that he was looking at me like that, I'm like, come at me. What's up with you? Well, when I stopped and thought about it, there was a clock right behind my head. He was squinting to see what time it was. So I assumed he was mad at me or angry at me or whatever. But the truth was, he was just trying to see the clock. So a lot of times we have supposed injuries because we didn't get the whole story right. So I want to talk about anger. Like I said, our key verse for this probably next 4 videos that I'm going to make is James 1:19 through 20. We know that it says be slow to anger, right? But the main point here is that for a man's anger does not promote the righteousness that God wishes and desires. A man's anger. We're going to talk about the difference between man's anger and righteous anger. So the first thing we're going to do is see what the word says. So I'm going to put this worksheet down in the comments below. And so for this first week, I just want you to look up, there's probably 15, 20 scriptures on here. Look them up, just do one a day and see what the word says about anger. We sometimes try and get so deep with the word of God, but God is just telling me over and over and over, we need to get back to basics. Who is God? What is anger? Where am I going? What is my call? What is my purpose? What did God say about this? What does he say about that? So we're going to start with anger. Real quick, real basic video. I'm going to do my best to keep them all under 5 minutes because I know you guys are busy and this is Facebook and I know nobody wants to sit and hold their phone for 10, 15 minutes listening to me. So, there's one more point I wanted to make. So here's 3 things I want you to think about this week. The first is what gets you angry. The second is how do you show anger? And the third is why do these things anger you? So I have another worksheet I'm going to post, and it basically is a questionnaire asking you those questions. And I want you to print a couple or just jot it down in a notebook. Do 5 examples of these. Let me see, where's the worksheet? So it's going to ask you for the date, the person involved, where it was. It's going to say, what did they do to get you angry? How did you express the anger? And why did this get you angry? I want 5 examples. And you're not going to have to share them with me unless you just want to talk it out. But this is just to get you more or less thinking about you and how you deal with your anger. So there's scriptures this week and then 5 examples of anger. So watch yourself through the week, and when you notice that you had a moment where you lost your temper or you became angry, jot it down on your examples and we'll talk about them next week. Love you guys.